Hi guys. So we're going to start off with pouring some tea that I have already steeped. And this is a genmaicha. I hope you like the sounds of pouring tea. I love the sounds of pouring tea. So this is my grandma's teapot, but my giant tea mug, because that entire teapot fits in this mug. So this is the tea I am drinking today, and it is a genmaicha, so it has, I don't know if you can see them, little bits of puffed rice in it. It's green tea with little bits of puffed rice. I get this at a local Japanese market that I like to go to. I think it's like $5 for this whole bag, and it's green tea with roasted brown rice and matcha powder, and then it is in French. So it is a very nice, comforting tea, and I thought I would enjoy it today with you guys. Just a warning for people, we are going to talk today about the existence of cancer, but I'm currently fine. So if that is too upsetting for people, maybe skip this one. This is a little bit of medical stuff. It might bring up some issues for people. So with that, I have had, this is my fourth tea of the day. Started off with an Irish breakfast from Adagio. Then I had a matcha latte that I made quickly in between my sessions this morning. And then the Adagio tea of the day is blackberry. So I had that. This is a very nice tea. This is black tea, natural blackberry flavor, and raspberry leaves. It really tastes like a blackberry flavored tea. The flavoring is not super artificial. It's got that, blackberry's a little bit bitter. So you get a little bit of that sourness, more sour than bitter, a little bit of sourness. But now I am having just a very comforting, it's got a beautiful smell. It steeps quickly. You really could steep it for 30 seconds if you used all boiling water. And that little bit of like roasted rice just really hits the spot. So I got a call today. I had turned the ringer off on my phone. I went and saw my doctor last week and had a mammogram, as you do every year at my age. And I got a call today from them. I had a whole bunch of lab results because I talked to you last week about COVID. So I'm staying on the medical theme. I hope you don't mind. It's just kind of what's going on in my life right now. And so I had all of the lab tests done, and I kept getting something saying we have one of your lab results. But when I would go in, I had seen all the lab results. So I couldn't understand why I kept getting this email. And my guess is it's because of this call I got today, which was from mammography saying, I'm calling about your mammogram, please call us back. Which is never a good sign. If everything is fine, they will tell you that in a message. So I called them back and they said, we want to do a follow-up mammogram. So we're not at biopsy stage, we're not at any of that. But it's the first time I've ever been called back for a follow-up mammogram. There's something they saw that seems to have changed and they want to check on it again. So I'm gonna go do that. There's no history of breast cancer in my family. So I'm not super concerned, and if it is that, we'll deal with it when we get down there, but that's quite a ways down the road. But it's kind of interesting because the other saga of this whole medical thing is, before I went into the doctor, I got an email saying, take this cancer screening test, blah, blah, blah. So I took this screening test. So nobody in my family has had cancer except for prostate cancer. So my father and my grandfather both had prostate cancer. So I marked that they did, and then I went and saw my doctor, and my doctor says, well, you've been cleared for this DNA cancer screening. It should be covered by your insurance. I was like, well, if you've got to do blood work anyway, which we decided we had to do blood work anyway, sure, let's do it. If it's covered by my insurance. And she said, well, they'll tell you if it's not going to be covered by your insurance. So then I get a call on Friday. I think it was on Friday. No, it was earlier this week. So it's like Monday of this week, I think, saying your insurance says that you have to go through this phone cancer screening, before we can run the tests, and then we'll be able to tell you if you have to pay anything out of pocket. So I also can't find out. I have to check a button saying I understand that I may have to pay out of pocket for the phone cancer screening. So here's my issue. Like, if I am being cleared because there's cancer in my family history, it is very unlikely I'm going to get prostate cancer. So I think it's very possible that I'll do this phone cancer screening and it won't go through, which is actually fine. I was kind of on the fence. I'm like, do you really want to know that stuff? Like, I know if people have had cancer. And as far back as I know, they have not. So people die of heart disease or complications of asthma in my family a lot. So I'm really thinking, and then they keep sending me this, make sure you cancel within 2 weeks if we are not going to run the test. And I'm just really feeling like, especially with this mammogram that I have to do this coming Monday, I may just not do this extra screening. I don't know if that's silly of me, but yeah, only so much medical stuff I can take at one time. So that's kind of where we stand today. I got that call. I called them immediately back because I'm a good girl, and then wanted to eat everything in the house. Wanted to stress eat as a result. I'm actually okay. I'm pretty good with medical stuff. Like, it's just an extra hassle of having to go into extra doctor's appointments. I may have mentioned that my son was in vitro. There was a long process before that. There were lots of doctors in that process. I actually didn't find it that horrible. It just was very time consuming. I know it's very, very stressful for a lot of people. For some reason, it wasn't that stressful for me, except for the time involved. So I don't know. That's sort of my reaction to medical stuff. Like, medical stuff for me, it's more annoying, even though I've had emergency surgeries and various things come up. I had an ectopic pregnancy at one point, and that was stressful, but like, it was stressful for such a short period of time. Once we figured out what was going on, it was like, okay, surgery, let's go. So I'm okay, but it was like, again, an immediate reaction of like, well, this sucks. I'm going to eat everything in the house. But instead, I had 2 small cookies that we have. And I went to the gym because I'd actually been thinking about wanting to go for a walk, but it's raining here. It's really yucky out. It's kind of chilly and rainy. And I really wanted to go for a walk. I wanted to do a light workout today. I didn't want to do a really hard workout. And I've been thinking about the steam room at my climbing gym. So I went to the climbing gym and just didn't climb, just used the gym and I did like 20 minutes elliptical. And then I went to sit in the steam room, and unfortunately, sometimes the steam room just like won't turn off at that gym. And this was one of the days when it just would not turn off and was boiling hot. I just like couldn't be in there. I love the steam room because I do have some asthma. So when I'm in the steam room, I can breathe really well. It feels very nice, especially after climbing and breathing hard. To go in the steam room, it really like clears out my lungs. It feels very nice. I love steam rooms. But they do have a sauna, so I sat in the sauna instead for a little bit, but not for too long, and then came home and just did a 50-minute meditation that may have turned into a nap a little bit in there because I'm still kind of tired from the long COVID, but seemed a lot healthier. And now I'm having some tea with you, and then I'm probably gonna have a snack and maybe watch some YouTube and then go pick up my son. So it's a very busy day. I have a performance this early evening. Tomorrow's a little bit more chill, and then we're taking some people to a Halloween event. I know it's early, but there's a Halloween event that is every weekend leading up to Halloween, so we'll probably do that on Friday. So I'm not sure when I will check in with you again, but I will definitely check in with you on Monday because I should have results right afterwards. And again, I'm going to be positive about it, and even if something is wrong, there's nothing I can do about it, and we'll just deal with it when that happens. So thanks for letting me share a little bit, and I will be checking in throughout the week. Okay, take care. Bye. Hi there. So I wanted to update you on my medical journey, but I also wanted to do a little tea experiment with you because I was thinking about this morning. I thought, oh, it'd be fun to have you guys do this as well. I'll talk a little bit about what's going on. So I have a cold now too. Just to add insult to injury, my son started complaining about 3 days ago about his allergies bothering him. He has really bad allergies, so I figured, okay, he just is struggling with allergies right now. It's a bad time of year for allergies. And then starting yesterday, I got a cold, which means he had a cold, which it tends to be the way it goes. But let me tell you about my experiment this morning, because it'll be ready soon. I've gotten very into dirty chais. My husband makes coffee most mornings, and he makes it very, very strong. Too strong for me. It's almost espresso. I am a wimpy coffee drinker. I tend to drink it black, usually, if I drink coffee, but I can't drink his black. If I drink his black, I really have to like water it down halfway. It's way too dark for me. So it's just too bold. So I've been making dirty chais, and I have been making them with, first I had some Oregon chai powder, which makes a delicious dirty chai. So I would do half coffee, not what they really tell you to use in the powder because it's too sweet for me, but like maybe a teaspoon of powder, and then I would fill it up with hot water. That was delicious, but then I kind of wanted to cut back on the calories a little bit, and that was also still a little sweet for me, but I wanted the chai flavor. So I started getting Tazo skinny chai latte. I also started getting this because it is vegan. So the Oregon chai is not vegan. I had it left over. I am trying to be vegan, but I'm also trying not to waste food. So if I have it in the house, I'm still going to eat it up unless somebody else in my house will eat it. But today I was thinking, oh, this smells so good. And then I would also add some Minor Figures organic oat milk. So I would do like half coffee, half the Tazo skinny chai latte, and then half the Minor Figures. But I thought today I kind of wanted something a little bit different, and I have from Dominion Tea cinnamon bun pu'er. They have really, really nice pu'ers. So this is pu'er tea, black tea, cinnamon flavor, and calendula. Let's see if you can see inside the bag. It smells
So good. It smells very cinnamony. It smells like pu'er, which has a very distinctive kind of dirt, I think, smell. So I've been steeping this. It's steep 3 to 5 minutes. I've been steeping this about 4 minutes. I am going to pour it into this cup I already made that is about maybe a third coffee, about a quarter minor figures, oat milk, and then a little bit of maple syrup because the minor figures is not sweetened. I'm going to pour the rest of this in my cup of tea cup. And if I love this, I will actually pour the rest of the pu'er in a thermos to keep it warm, and then I will use it for another dirty chai. Although usually about half a cup of coffee is enough caffeine for me, unless I've had no other caffeine. This smell is still like cinnamon and earth. It's really good. I'm trying to get more into pu'ers because they're supposed to be really good for your stomach. And they have an amazing eggnog pu'er that I love. I like this one too, but I'll probably get the eggnog next time. I like it better. Now the coffee was not super warm, so this is actually probably ready, and this was, the minor figures was cold in the fridge. Oh, that's really good. That makes a lovely chai. So I know that the cinnamon bun pu'er is not a chai, so this is not officially a dirty chai. This is a dirty pu'er. Yep, I'm a fan of that. It just kind of tastes like a flavored coffee. I actually was coming back from a doctor's appointment this morning, second doctor's appointment. I'll talk about that in a minute. And I thought about stopping at Starbucks because I don't know why I have a gift certificate. It was probably because I'm an independent contractor as a therapist. Every once in a while, the companies I work for will send you like a birthday gift card, or they'll often send you branded merch actually for their company. So I think this was like a birthday thing from one of the companies. And I don't ever go to Starbucks, so I think I've had it for probably years and years. But I put it in my Starbucks app so that I would actually use it. I usually use it on my son because he likes their vanilla bean creams. And I like them too, but they're a milkshake. They're a delicious milkshake, but I try not to drink super sweet things like that. Maple syrup, 100% maple syrup is my sweetener of choice, always. So I can't really taste the maple in this. It really tastes like a cinnamon shot in a coffee with a little bit of milk or creamer and a little bit of sweetener. It's beautiful. I love it. So I like my dirty chais too. But yeah, I thought this might be a nice way. Sometimes the pu'er, even though it's supposed to be really good for your stomach, sometimes it doesn't sit really well on my stomach. It kind of makes my stomach a little grumbly. That's why I'm trying to, and I've actually heard that from other people too. Like, you kind of have to like get used to it. So I thought, oh, let me cut it with another thing that's really kind of tough on your stomach, like coffee. But actually, I'm really liking this, so we'll see how my stomach likes it. All right, medical update. So, medical update. Yesterday, I went and I had a follow-up mammogram and a ultrasound, which I didn't know I was going to have. After the follow-up mammogram, she said, go and sit and wait, and if I need more pictures, I will come and get you if the doctor wants to see more pictures, or you will get called in for your ultrasound. So I sat there a long time. She never came back, so I assumed we were going right to the ultrasound, which I did. Went into the ultrasound. very nice ultrasound tech. They were all very, very nice. They've got to have some very scared people in there at, because there's a radiologist right there. So this is probably where most people go if there's any issues. I've never had issues with my mammogram before. So I went talking with the ultrasound tech. She was really distracting. We were talking about books. We were talking about NPR. We were having a very nice conversation. And then near the end, she goes, "So I don't see anything." She said that hopefully the doctor will say the same, but I don't see anything. Sometimes when we do the single pictures in your, annual mammogram, it can squish the tissue weird, and you can see some dense areas that can look like the beginning of a cancer. But when we get these more detailed pictures that are more targeted to certain areas, that is less likely to happen. And then we do the ultrasound too, just to make sure, but I don't see anything. And the doctor will come in and talk to you in a minute. So I sat for a minute, and she came back in a couple minutes later and was like, "The doctor doesn't even need to see you. They don't see anything on the mammogram. They don't see anything in the ultrasound. Everything's all set." Wonderful. Texting my husband because I had kind of worked myself up. It's funny because I don't get nervous about death. Has never been something that is terribly scary for me. I think, again, it's a little bit about my beliefs of I don't have to worry about it if I'm dead. I'm sad for the people around me who have to deal with me being gone, but it's not actually a problem for me. And I'm not even that scared about breast cancer, because I kind of feel like those are parts of my body, and I know it can be much more complicated about it than this, but those are parts of my body that can come off. So I am more scared about the logistics of having to deal with something like that. It's kind of the same attitude I had around my son is in vitro. And I was never really emotional about the fact that I wasn't getting pregnant. I was frustrated, mad about it. The whole process of it, of taking the meds, of giving myself, I was upset and scared about the logistics of it. I really didn't want to give myself shots. I did. And I dealt with it. I didn't want to have to come up with the money. I didn't know how we would come up with the money to do in vitro. But doctors had told me pretty early on that there was nothing going on medically that meant I couldn't carry a child. I just have endometriosis. Sorry, we're having a girl talk today. For those of you who are men and are uncomfortable with girl talk, it's funny because living in Indonesia for a while, the different taboos we have about subjects, they won't talk about money. Can't talk about money. But you can talk about medical issues, even if they are female issues. You can talk about them with anybody at any time in great detail. So, and I'm hanging around with a lot of Indonesians now. So I think I've got a little less squeamish about it. But again, you could probably tell from the very beginning of this, maybe I'll put in the title that, although I feel like men should know this stuff. If you have any women in your life, we should be able to have some basic biology conversations. So was in vitro. I was told very early on there was nothing that meant I couldn't carry a child. I just couldn't have a child. I was having a lot of difficulty naturally becoming pregnant because I have endometriosis. The scar tissue from endometriosis had moved it all around. If you're at all interested in medical stuff, I actually had a video of a laparoscopy where they went in and they removed a bunch of scar tissue. It was kind of fascinating. I'm not big into medical stuff. I'm kind of squeamish about it, but it was sort of interesting to see what my insides look like. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's why I'm not getting pregnant, because nothing's in the right spot. So I get scared about the logistics, about the time involved, about the rearranging my life, about all of that stuff. I sometimes had 3 doctor's appointments a week, if not more. I was giving myself shots. I was, before that, taking medication. I was on an estrogen patch. I was on everything. Looking back on it now, It was a lot. It didn't feel like a lot at the time. Once I figured out the time frame and figured out how to make it work in my life and carved out all the time for appointments, it was fine. I also didn't have a kid right then, so that made things a lot easier. It would be a lot harder now that I have a kid to work around their schedule as well. So that's what I was afraid of. Like, if there had been a negative outcome at this mammogram yesterday, I was very scared about, oh God, now I have to probably go have a biopsy. And then what do we do? I actually didn't tell my parents I was doing this. I had this follow-up just because it was so preliminary. I was freaked out about it a little bit, but it wasn't worth freaking them out about it until I had at least some results. I knew that probably it would be fine, but I was just, it was a lot of like, oh gosh, now what happens if this isn't fine? So that was a little bit scary. But it was all fine. It was great. Came home caught up on some sleep last night because I hadn't been sleeping well the couple of nights before. Kind of stressed myself out. One of the reasons I love ASMR is I am a bit of an insomniac. I've been a lot better the past years because I'm very good with sleep hygiene. I don't stay up. I am on a very tight sleep routine. It's a big priority of mine. So caught up on some sleep and then had a doctor's appointment this morning, completely unrelated. I'm trying to get a primary care physician. I have always used my OB/GYN as my primary care physician, and actually for the past 4 years I've been trying to get a primary care physician. It's such a pain to try and get a primary care physician that I haven't been able to. I actually just use our local walk-in clinic as my primary care physician because it's just such a process. I keep having appointments canceled, and then that doctor moves from the practice by the time I'm supposed to see them. It's just been I haven't been trying all that hard. I get kind of mad about it, and then I don't worry about it for a while because, again, I don't have any major problems right now, especially now that I know my blood work is good. So now I just have to get over this cold. It's always annoying because my son will get something for 3 days and then I will get it for 2 weeks. But that is where we stand today. Drinking this dirty pu'er. That sounds kind of inappropriate, but that's okay. I'm going to have just a sip of the regular pu'er. Yeah, that's really good too. But I actually like the combination of the pu'er and the coffee more than just the pu'er alone, and I clearly don't drink the coffee alone. And I'll just end with, and this is a long one, so I'll probably just do these 2 videos kind of smooshed together today. So my teas of the day. I start off with Throat Coat from, what is it, Natural Medicines or something. I don't know. I forget the name of the brand. It's in my kitchen, though. I'll maybe try to show it next time. And then today's Adagio tea of the day is Libra tea. So this was actually a nice tea. I liked it. It is black tea, rose petals. I'm not usually a huge rose petal fan. Let's see. Strawberries, cocoa nibs, natural chocolate flavor, natural strawberry flavor, natural cream flavor. It was okay. I liked it. With a lot of these black teas, I don't feel like the extra flavoring shines through that much. I think if anything, when it's got these natural flavors, it tastes a bit synthetic. So it was fine. That's not one I'm going to go out and buy, though. All right. I'm going to end this here so that I can go blow my nose. And hopefully the next video we have, I will be feeling all better. And I will talk to you then. All right. Bye.